Going on, brother?
What is going on, Christian?
I've been waiting for this, bro. You know that.
It is happening, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, so just for the people listening, I figure your followers want to know the real you. They've seen you dance a million times, but they didn't never really hear you speak. They don't really know you. They don't really know you as a person. They just know you as a dancer. So I figured they'd want to know you as a human being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, no, I mean, I actually have like, if you want to see more of me, you could follow Carlwinz.fit or Motivate in Motion. That kind of like those two Instagrams, you could see kind of like my mindset. But there's still more of me that you guys don't know outside of videos and creating content. So.
We'll talk about that all today. So the first thing I want to talk about is your business because you blew up really, really fast, man. Like, I was just speaking to you like a year ago or something like that. You had like 10, 15 subscribers. You used to do the ice bucket challenge every day, and you blew up out of nowhere. Now you have like over 500,000 followers on YouTube. How did you blow up so fast, man?
Sheesh. Like I was consistent and I was disciplined on all those days that I didn't want to do it. I did it, and I realized that on those days that you don't want to do things, anything, it's the most important day. And I always remember that day when I didn't want to do something after I did something, it felt great. So I always remember that feeling, right? So I kept going every single day, didn't miss a day. And I kept posting 3 to 4 times on YouTube and it just kept growing more and more and more. The things that I was doing before, I seen what worked and what didn't work, and I just kept, you know,
Doubling
crushing it.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you double down on the things that work, and then you threw out the things that didn't work. But you blew up really fast, man. So whatever happened to the ice bucket challenge? You don't do those no more.
Yeah, it's coming again 100%, but like it's hard to do and I figured like it was through a depression thing, like I wanted that to heal. It was all mental. So I felt pretty good on day 60. After that, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to dance. So I hit up one of my boys, Shafar, and then from that day, I was like, I want to do a dance. Met at the mall, and after that, I just kept going with it. So I put my focus on something else, which was still something healthy where I could still inspire people, more kids, if anything. But it feels great. It feels great doing something that I love to do, whether it's the ice bath or dancing. So it's a blessing to do both. But I'm more focused now on dancing because it's keeping me sane. So
It's keeping you sane, and it's what you're the best at. Like you've been dancing since how old?
5.
Yeah, you've been dancing since five, and that's what I was gonna say. It wasn't just the videos that got you to where you are. It was all that training for 20, 25 years, all that training. So it wasn't just the videos. You had to train for many, 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 many years to get to where you are. It wasn't just the videos. You can't just start out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean you were there actually. We trained at your house. When I was coming up. Me, you, Jeffrey, Henry, all of us. You seen how hard it was to get these moves down. It was all that training from before to that moment until now to get to this point. So yeah, breaking from 5 till now definitely has helped a lot. So yeah,
And,
bro.
and it was a fun journey, like that's the thing. Like even though it was work, it was fun at the same time. So the point is, to try for the people listening, try to find something that you enjoy because Carlos always loved dancing and now he loves making content and that's where he got to where he is. So and speaking of Shafar, I was gonna say that's part of how you got to where you are, knowing the right people, right?
Yeah, so he was somebody that understood what to do with the content that you're putting out.
Mhm.
He's seen what worked for him and what didn't work for him. He already did the work, so he's now helping others to get them to where they got to get to. He already has all his accounts set up to where they got to be, but now he wants to also be a person, a giving person, where it's like, hey, this is knowledge I could give. Please take it. But I realized some people take it for granted. I've seen him tell people what to do and they don't do it. As soon I remember being on the phone with him for like an hour and 40 something minutes, and I took notes and I applied it. and it worked.
Mm.
But on the side of that, I also did every single night, and my girlfriend's here. She could tell you, I would always watch YouTube videos of how to grow on YouTube shorts, uh, CPMs, everything I needed to know about YouTube. I did my own research every single night before going to sleep or anytime during the day I had the chance. I would study the biggest creators like Mr. Beast and
Mm.
all these other ones, like Jake Paul and all of them. What did they do to get successful? And it's literally what we're all doing. We're putting out content and they just make the next one better. So it's a handful of things. Yeah, you got to know the right people, and also you got to put the work in, yourself. Study yourself as well.
Yeah, so, and back it kind of ties into what I was saying before because I feel like a lot of like maybe like teenagers look at you and then they go, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. Like I feel like you make it look so easy, and the thing is like I just want to emphasize the fact that it's not easy to get to 600,000 subscribers or 700, like because you knew the right people, you applied what Jafar said, you've been training. So I just want to emphasize the fact that it's really, really hard to get there, and it takes a lot of work that you can't make any excuses. So do you mind sharing what did he tell you? Do you mind sharing the tips that he told you maybe?
Yeah, these are the standard tips that he gave me before I grew on my own and ended up doing research to
Yeah.
understand things even further.
Mm.
But I'll give you this, like for example, guys, if you guys are watching this right now, make sure to always simple things, simple tips. Wipe the camera
Mm.
before you
Interesting tip.
record a video. Anytime, just make sure you wipe it. Um, 4K 60 all the time, not 1080. If your phone doesn't have 4K, or if it does have 4K, the app will basically adjust it to those who can or can't see 4K or 1080. It doesn't matter. Next is always use trending sounds. All right, it would always push out what the algorithm it wants. Um, what else did he do? Make sure that you're always move. If something's happening in the camera in the first 3 to 4 seconds is
Yeah.
another thing that he has told me.
People swipe
Um,
so fast. People swipe left so fast.
so fast. You
Yeah.
got to keep their right in those 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Keep their
Yeah.
attention. What's going to happen? Are you going to trip, fall? Or are you going to
Yeah.
say something quick? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to give you guys one more. These are the standards that don't try to overthink the caption. All right, whatever is going on in the video, try to make it as simple as possible for someone to understand what's going on in the video, the caption. You know, and thumbnail is key as well. The
Thumbnail.
thumbnail and caption. These are all elements to make your videos go viral, but it does take a little bit more work, which is the extra things that I researched and had to actually apply in order to find out. But those are kind of like the 4 to 5 tips that he gave me, which were basic.
And it's really interesting because they're so basic, but they're so important. Like I've been making on content since I was 19 years old, and I've never heard that tip. Always wipe the camera first. I've never heard that tip since I was 19, and it's like it sounds like common sense, but nobody really thinks about it. And like someone probably must have taught him that, and it sounds so simple, but it's so effective. And now I'm gonna start wiping my camera every
Yeah.
time. So it's really interesting. And what I also noticed, I was speaking to my friend Kevin about it, who um, he was we kind of agreed that out of all the platforms, YouTube is the most competitive and the hardest to get big, which is so ironic because I think that out of all the platforms, you have the most followers on YouTube. So I wanted to talk about that because like it's so ironic how like YouTube is generally the most competitive platform, yet you have more followers on YouTube than the other platforms.
Yes. I want to talk about that too. That's a great thing that you brought up. I
Mm.
feel as if it's different. I feel like YouTube is way easier and Instagram and TikTok is harder, especially TikTok
Yeah.
today. TikTok back then, you would get followers instantly. Now it's different. And I can't say much about TikTok. I don't know. But Instagram as well takes a little bit longer. I feel like YouTube is the best because they've been around the longest. One, two, they were able to give the consumers what they want on their algorithm. So they're really good at giving you what you want from what you watch and what you click. Say that. So I believe that YouTube is the best because of this reason. It's evergreen. Your video will never be lost and someone will always watch it. On Instagram, it will be buried and probably it will never be seen.
Mhm.
So I give it up to YouTube. I think it is the easiest to grow because they truly watch everything you do on YouTube. On Instagram and TikTok, it's kind of hard, and it's not coming from my personal experience. It's coming from many others that I've heard this from too, that
Oh,
they
they
said
said the
it's,
same thing.
yeah, 'cause Instagram, like my friend Archer just reached 1 million now, but he has 2 million on freaking I
YouTube.
think TikTok, and then like 3 or 2 million on YouTube. Everybody has millions elsewhere before Instagram. You can see people on Instagram. Most people have five. They put on TikTok 3 million on TikTok, and then they have 300K on Instagram. You see 15 million on their bio. You see all of that stuff, but on Instagram they have less. You know what I'm saying? So TikTok and YouTube. I think it would go YouTube, TikTok, and then Instagram from easiest to hardest. From seeing every account, all these creators, you could see Mr. Beast has hundreds of millions on freaking
YouTube.
uh YouTube, and
Mhm.
then Instagram a little bit less. So it's I like how YouTube has it set up where you could easily subscribe. And I know people are struggling on YouTube because most people are putting out long form content. It's going to be harder for people to subscribe and keep watching, but if you put out shorts, man, I you get 20,000, 10,000, 1K subscribers you know off of shorts. It's most of my subscribers came from shorts, and a lot come from shorts. People subscribe. Like if I put the same video on Instagram, YouTube wins, all the time because they're sending it out. They know how to do that.
They push
So
the algorithm. That's
yeah.
really, really interesting, because like from my experience, it's the opposite. So I guess I think it also might even depend. Like, so for example, let's just say that you're one of those like Instagram models, for example, or like let's say you take a lot of pictures. I think that for people who are more picture based, they'll have the advantage on Instagram, and then people who are
Yes.
more video based will have an advantage on YouTube. So that's so interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what do you think? What are some things that these content creators are doing wrong? These ones that are struggling, what are they doing wrong?
Easy. They're not some of these content creators, which was something that I was doing wrong, was not being authentic. You're copying everybody else. You're doing the same exact thing that everybody else is doing. For example, I could stand up and just do the same. Like for me, it would be doing a dance, right? Let's say I'm doing a dance right now. Cool. But you're just doing the dance. But what makes it authentic, right? Like even if you're a fighter, if you're a dancer, singer, what makes you stand out rather than just singing or just dancing or just doing something plain old simple? I feel like you have to be authentic. What helped me a lot was sliding with a wet floor sign.
Mm.
Add some, so for other people, it's dressing up as Spider-Man. For other people, it's having a certain face that people laugh at and they love your face and they just follow you. People make stupid faces like,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
they love that and then they start dancing. So they find your thing, whatever it is. Find your thing that makes you stand out just a little bit. Even if you wear tea bags in every video around your neck, or you're the guy with a book bag and sneakers popping out. What makes you you? So I would say be authentic. Okay, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but just be authentic, be different.
Yeah, find a way to stand out. Same thing with real estate. Pretty much in any business, find a way to stand out. And I noticed that in your videos, like, I know that as far as breakdancing goes, you have a lot of power. You can do air flares, you can do elbow spins. And I noticed that, you don't necessarily show all of that in your videos. Sometimes you keep it simple. Sometimes you slide with a wet floor sign. So is there a reason why you don't necessarily like show off all of the air flares and all of that?
I'm trying to give I'm trying to give you guys what you want, right? So I did 365 days of breaking. and meaning 365 videos of breaking, right? And it was all from the craziest things that I could do. And, many people just watch it and that's it. It was really, I didn't gain followers, nothing really happened, you
Yeah.
know, but now I want to mix it in where I could slide with a wet floor sign, do a dance trend, and do one or two or three or four paddle moves within that, and I could mix it all together and still be me and deliver what you guys want at the same time. So I really learned that you don't have to throw your craziest things to get a lot of followers, but sometimes you do, sometimes you do. So if you guys ever do hear Dancing with Chrono or any songs that are like that, I would be going all out and doing power moves like that. But other than that, you really don't have to. I realize that you don't have to, kill yourself to get these followers or to inspire.
Yeah, and also the scenery, you go to Times Square a lot, you go to the mall a lot. The scenery matters a lot, and Times Square is like everyone cares about Times Square. People in China, people in Australia, everybody loves seeing Times Square, right?
Yeah, man, it's a big difference from when you're at the mall and you're recording a video and hey, it's a hit or miss. It could hit, it could miss. But when you're in Times Square, man, and people are everybody's watching you and the background and how beautiful it is. So if you only make content in Times Square, you're gonna win because every time you're posting something, someone new is watching.
Hmm.
So it's sick. It's the scenery is sick. You're always winning if you're in Times Square. But you could win out here too. You could win in different locations like Coney Island, stuff like that. But Times Square is like a hot spot.
That's a heavy hitter. Yeah. And at the same
Yeah.
time, like you don't want to do every single video in Times Square. So you want to switch it up. Sometimes go to the mall. I think I saw you at the barber shop a few times. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting, Carlos. Like the way that I still can't fathom like how you blew up so fast. And I'm sure that, like how many videos a day do you post? You post every day, right?
Yeah. Lately, I've slowed down because I've been trying to gather myself back up after starting this new job. But what is recommended would be posting 4 times a day. Post 4 times a day every hour. So it would be, and this is shorts. So it would be like 12 to 3 or 4. If you're posting 3 times, 12 to 3 or 12 to 4 every hour, different sounds, see what works best for you. And boom, crush it like that every single day. Isn't that a lot though? 4 videos a day.
Is that 4 shorts a day?
Yeah, so that's 28 videos a week.
Do you have long format content?
I have one up right now at 154K because I related my shorts that are going viral to that video. So let's say if that video that I related has 17 million, at least like 2 or 3% of those people are going to my long form. So that's probably why it has 154K. But I only have one long form, but you should
What
be
is
doing
it?
both.
What is
It's
it?
the long form is only like a minute and a couple seconds. I'm at the mall sliding in a hallway, and I wanted to see how far I could slide, but I just kept sliding till I hit the wall, and then people were walking towards me, and I was like, "What do you think about that slide?" They were like, "Great," and I'll be like, "Oh, great, cool, man, let's ask the next person," and then freaking they say I didn't see it, and I was like, "Oh, awesome, great, cool," and then freaking I say something and then the video ends and we're laughing and it's done. So it's silly stuff.
The security guards must hate you over there.
No, they actually love me. I
Oh,
know them. They're all great people. Neil, Brian, they're all actually people that, they see us doing something positive. So they're like, you know what? Let them be. And sometimes we have them in our videos and then people say to them, yo, I seen you in, and it's just, they love that feeling. Even for the businesses there at the mall,
yeah. Yeah.
we all of us, we brought millions of views, and people, you should see the comments in some of the videos how much they love the Asian lady. They love her. Everybody dances with her, and I'm just so happy that her business is we're bringing value to the business just by doing what we love to do. So yeah, it's fun.
I really, really, really like your video with the Deadpool outfit. I think you got to make more of those. Where'd you get that Deadpool outfit from?
I got it on from this website. What's it called? I forgot the website. Yeah, Cosmic something, but yeah, I ordered it online. It was like $300-400, something like that. And um, yeah, I wore it a couple times, but I didn't get the best one. So there's like holes here. But I
Uh,
want to just go all out, like you said, and just go all off. If it breaks, it breaks.
well, I was also thinking, like, what if you just became the Deadpool guy? Like, what if you just wore that outfit in every single video, and you just became like the Deadpool dancer?
It's because there's people doing that. That's
oh
why.
yeah.
There's like there's like five people off the bat that I know. That one, no, two people that I know, and then three people that I see on YouTube. That's all they do, and they actually have somebody that looks like freaking Wolverine.
Oh wow. And
Yeah, so they, yeah,
that's another thing I wanted to talk about is that you have to be the first one to do it because if you were the first one, if nobody else, if it weren't for those five other people, you would have, even more views if you were the first one. So that's another thing. It's like a race to the first idea, to the new idea. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like competition, healthy competition. But that's why I was like, all right. But I'm thankful for like the wet floor sign where no one ever did it before.
Uh-huh.
So it's like there's that, but I'm always willing to grow. I'm always willing to do more, you know.
How many of those signs do you have? A million?
In total I've had four. One I've lost, two I broke, and one I currently have right now. So yeah, two I broke, but I think I have the original Mr. Caution at my house. My house. Yeah.
Is there a chance that one day people might, get bored of that sign thing? Do you think?
The thing is, maybe the people that seen it before, but
Mm,
if I
mm,
continue posting it, the
mm.
whole world still didn't see it.
Uh-huh.
There's 7 billion people.
Uh-huh.
You guys may see me post, and this is what I understand, is that you guys make me see me post sliding videos like, oh, he slid again, he slid again, he slid again. Yes, but there's other people that have not seen it.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm sorry if I put out content that you guys have seen before, but there's people that haven't seen it, and that's important to me. But hopefully I still get the same support and love from those who've seen the slide. But I'm just trying to show the world like what happens if I just keep sliding.
Right.
What? It's not just regular sliding. I'm sliding upside down with a wet floor sign into a dance or into breakdancing, or I'm sliding with two wet floor signs. It's something I've never seen before, and I just want to see where it takes me, especially when I go down a hill snowboarding with snow upside
Right.
down. You know what I'm saying?
And it's so interesting how that like little 4 or 5 second slide gets you so many more views than air flares and head spins and spills. It's crazy. That's crazy, right?
It's insane. It's insane. I realize if you don't have a big community of breakers following you, you're not going to get those likes or those views. You're going to have a whole bunch of people just swiping away like, oh, breakdancing, oh, ray gun, oh, this is like I think I have that following. So I'm going to probably go back. Now I have the following. Before I had 2 or 3K, and it was just a mixture of my crew, people from New York, some people from the Philippines, France, and some of them were watching, but it would only reach like 400 or 500 views, 2K the most. So
And also
that,
remember, there's a very, very small percentage of people that are even into breakdancing. Like I can't remember the last time I even heard someone say like, "Oh, I watch breakdancers on YouTube." You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, there's a wide variety of people that love just dance in general. That's why these trend dances are perfect. But when it comes down to breaking something very athletic, cool looking, and just amazing, still not many people are completely like, wow, I watch breaking. So
Right.
like you said, it's like a very select few of people who watch it.
Now, Carlos, I'm gonna assume that you don't really want to talk about like any like monetization. Are you comfortable with talking about that or no? Not really.
I mean, I could say like how many figures. I could say 5 figures, 4 figures, how much I made, or how to monetize, or any question like that. But I won't hit you guys with direct numbers.
I think you need at least a thousand subscribers to get money, I think.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers to start making money through YouTube ads. Yes, you
Yeah.
need that, and you need 10 million views in shorts in 90 days, or you could get 3 million, and the 3 million will give you the opportunity to get gifted, on live and stuff like that. But that's not how you really make the money. The you you have to get 10 million views in 90 days, and or you could get I believe it's a certain amount, 4,000 watch hours from long form videos in 90 days. So it's either or, with 1,000 subscribers, and then you will get monetized.
And
You
I'm
know,
assuming that you've had meetings with YouTube already.
meetings with YouTube like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wish. No, YouTube just sent me the 100K plaque, the silver plaque,
Nice,
and
nice.
a couple of emails trying to help me out with my channel, but nothing drastic, really. Nothing that would really help me with my channel with what I'm doing right now.
Uh,
But maybe something will change if I reach a million.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe that within a year you will reach a million, and it's crazy because you're growing so fast, and you're probably growing at an exponential rate, and like I said, you can always switch things up, like let's just say when you're 50 and you can't slide anymore, now you can do more talking, so you can always switch things up, and people will always want to hear and see different sides of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well said. Yeah, 100%. I actually do want to do that later on in the future. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker,
Yeah.
from all the pain and hurt that I've experienced, and how knowing how beautiful life really is if you really look deep into it. Like, you could really, words are the most powerful thing in the universe. So I feel like one day, whenever it happens, I do want to inspire people more than just moving around. I want to speak, I want to
Right.
speak.
Which is exactly why I did this interview, because I know that people want to hear you speak, like people don't want to just hear you dance after a while, and you can always make another channel or maybe even post the speakings on your own channel as well. But so you did mention before about depression. Do you want to talk about that in your past?
Um, well, I'll talk a little bit about it, but
Uh,
what happened was, right? Um, so let's just say I was depressed, I was smoking, I was drinking, I wasn't happy with my life.
mhm,
You know, I was at a point where I was like, hey, let this kill me. I never was suicidal, but I was like, hey, let that kill me.
mhm,
But then I started really tapping in. I called a friend. I was crying one night. I was super tipsy.
mhm,
And I just called a friend. Something told me to call a friend, and his name is Marvin, right? He came right away to my house. I was crying just because I was so sad. I was just so sad. Can't remember from what, but I was very sad. He told me, no, we're going to church tomorrow, but you're sleeping over. I ended up sleeping over at his house. He gave me his clothes for church because I forgot to grab them. I was tipsy. We just drove off to his house. We slept, woke up at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. We went straight to church. After that day, my whole life changed. I never felt so much pressure, so much stress relieve or like just leave my body, But first, I was crying in church. I didn't know why I was crying. I was just blown away. I never felt like this before. I looked at him and I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? Why do I feel like this? It was everything leaving, everything that was hurting me was leaving the body, the soul. And as soon as I left, I was like, that was life changing. Thank you. We went out to eat. We sat down, hung out. Then I went home. Then I was like, dang, I need to maintain this. So I ended up taking an ice bath. I ended up telling my mom, let's go to Home Depot, let's get a group trash can. I ended up putting hose water inside of it, and I remember it was like 36 cubes of ice. Opened it up, cracked it, put it in there. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I went inside and I was like, this is what I want. I want to shock my body. I want to feel great. I want these endorphins. I want it all. Like, this feels amazing. I felt like a reset. I felt great. My neurotransmitters felt freaking rewired.
mhm,
Felt like a whole new person from going to church to taking an ice bath.
mhm,
And then after that day, I just kept taking ice baths. And I
mhm.
felt slowly my depression leaving. I started to talk better. I started to hang around um, people that were like minded.
Uh-huh.
And also, I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing all of that. because the power of God, and also by taking care of my body and jumping in cold ice freaking water, which is completely healthy. Only if you have heart problems, please don't jump inside that cold water. Consult a doctor. But besides all of that, ice baths, man. If you're feeling sad, depressed, whatever, jump in it. I guarantee you'll feel freaking different. Stay in there for like 3 minutes. But yeah, I ended up doing that and crushed it for like 60 days, 2 months. Met a wonderful girl, ended up going to Times Square. And then from there, I was like, I'm taking all of that energy, remembering my depression, remembering all those ice baths that I did that were hard as heck. If I could do all of that and get through all of that, I could do anything. So I used all of that energy that was built up and I was already using it. Ooh, I used all of that and freaking just just used it all, and I got here to where I am today. I focused a lot on one thing, putting your 100% on one thing really drastically could change your life, and that's where you see the exponential growth. That's where I was just 100% that. Even my girlfriend was like saying, "Yo, you gotta chill out. You gotta stop obsessing over this. It's kind of getting scary." But I felt to me it was like a healthy obsession. I kept it was propelling me somewhere for not just myself, for my friends, my family. If I become successful, it's not just me; it's everybody around me. So um, yeah, depression was very bad. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just knew I didn't want to live at that one moment. I didn't want to kill myself, but I know I didn't want to live, so I was just easing the pain away. Went to church, ice baths, and then after that, I tapped into my dancing, and I just wanted to succeed as bad as I wanted to breathe, and boom, here we are.
Yeah, and that what's so interesting is that you've always came across as a very, very happy person. You've always been a really good dancer, probably one of the best break dancers in New York. You've always been like fit. You've never been obese, and you've always like kind of as far as the viewer goes, had your life together. And like it's really important for the people to know that the people who seem so successful and so happy, they don't always have the best days, and that even that sugarcoating, so it's really important for the people to at home to know that your favorite rapper, your favorite actor, whoever, they have their hard times too, and a lot of them just hide it. We don't post our hard days on social media, and it's really interesting because I had no idea that you were going through anything until you told me this like a year ago or something like that. But you've always came across as a very, very happy and positive person.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thank you. I I always in my mind I was like, I don't know what that person's going through, so why would I put my burden on them?
Mhm.
I just never wanted anybody to know really what my problems were, because most problems I thought that I could solve them. So I don't need to tell you so you could feel sorry or you could feel bad or so you could feel that negative emotion. Why would I give it to you? I can handle it. I can deal with it. So yes, I may not be here for a while, but I'm dealing with it. That's why I disappear sometimes. But I just recommend though, if you are going through something, it is healthy to talk to somebody.
Yep.
You do need some, don't try to do everything on your own.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, it's okay to take a break, relax, but talking to somebody does help, you
Mhm.
know? So if you need somebody to talk to, reach out, because people have reached out to me and it was hard for them to get through to me, but something got through and it happened. So I'm grateful for everybody who reached out to me, you know? That does not go unseen. I remember that. So yeah, reach out to people.
Yeah, I strongly, strongly agree. There are a lot of people who, especially men, right? A lot of men who don't want to reach out, whether it's pride or whether it's, being embarrassed. A lot of it comes down to that. And honestly, a lot of it comes down to ego or embarrassment and shame. And, we're starting to see that change. We're starting to see men starting to open up more and starting to cry more and starting to talk to each other. And so, and, it's a really, really beautiful thing to see because back in the day, day, even before my time or when I was a kid, men didn't really cry, and even today, like men are still shamed to if I was crying on the street, someone would say something, So even so, it's really beautiful to see like the world starting to change, men starting to open up, men starting to cry more and process their emotions more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, it's not good to leave things bottled in. That will give you gray hairs. That will stress you out. Might mess up your DNA. I don't know, but I know that's not good for you. So cry. Cry, talk to somebody, express yourself. It's good. It's healthy. Don't think you're being less than a man or any of that. Because crying, men cry and women cry. We're all human,
Mhm.
so it's normal. Don't freaking hide that.
Yeah, let it
I
out.
get it.
I did want to talk a little bit about, and you don't have to say too much about this if you don't want to. And I know you're a private guy, but I stopped drinking a long time ago. Are you sober right now, Carlos?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Nice.
sober right now. Like what? If I go to a birthday party, I'll drink like one glass of wine,
Mhm, mhm.
2 glasses of wine. Other than that, I ain't drinking. I would drink. Like if I didn't have self control, I
Yeah.
would go. It's either all or nothing, which is not a good thing to do or have. I'll be like, oh, if I'm having one drink, I'm gonna go till I feel drunk. I'm that type of guy, and I don't like being around that type of stuff. So I don't drink.
Yeah,
I don't drink.
I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking a while ago, and you feel the difference when you stop drinking. You feel the difference. A lot of people don't understand. Like alcohol is actually a depressant. It has a lot of depressant chemicals. There's a lot of research on this, and obviously it's bad for the body. And it's interesting because you come across as so disciplined. You've always been very very disciplined physically when it came to breakdancing and when it came to working out. But maybe you back in the day anyway, lack self-control when it came to other things. Does that
Yeah.
sound correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would, back in the day when I didn't have any type of like direction, things would seep into my life. Like it would be sometimes, guys, cigarettes, marijuana, or alcohol, these things from the people that you hang with
Yeah.
to the
And
things that you do
depression.
because you don't feel okay. These things come into your life and it can ruin you. But I thank God it didn't kill me or ruin me. It definitely did teach me a lesson of what things I do want to do and don't want to do. And I definitely don't want to drink or smoke. It's definitely not you feel a big difference when you don't do it, especially the drinking.
Yeah.
You don't wake up
Yeah.
hungover, you don't feel that sadness or any of that.
On top of it, alcohol ain't cheap. Like, alcohol is
Yeah.
so expensive. It takes a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's interesting, Carlos, because like you said, you really really feel the difference. And a lot of like I remember when I was in middle school and high school, they used to talk a lot about peer pressure. And what's crazy is I'm 34 years old. I'm still getting a lot of peer pressure. Like there's still, especially in your 20s, there's so many people pressuring you to drink, so many people pressuring you to smoke. And for you youngins, do not give in to that peer pressure. Like it's like let's just say that there's a room full of 20 people taking shots. You're gonna look weird as hell if you're not taking a shot. You're gonna look weird. I know you've been in that situation before.
And I'm the one taking the shot. That's why I don't like surrounding myself around that situation. You will be peer pressured. That's why it's like you feel off that you're not in there. I feel like yes, be different. Be the one that's not taking the shot. Because you don't need to fit in like that. You don't need to do that to fit in. You don't.
Yeah, the way I look at it is you have to be okay and somewhat even proud of being a black sheep, like you have to be okay with being different. And this is where like it gets philosophical because I feel like you to a certain extent even have to view people as irrational because the thing is if you view people as rational, you're gonna follow them. If you view people as irrational, now you're probably not gonna follow them because why would you follow irrational people? So you to a certain extent, I would say that you have to understand that people aren't so rational and you know what I'm saying, and you feel a big difference when you stop drinking. So Carlos, I noticed that you're a very 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 positive person. You're full of positive energy. You like to smile. You're just a very positive and encouraging person. How do you stay positive in such a cold world?
Woo! Well, dang, that's a heavy question. how do I mean, it's a mindset that I have accumulated through many trial and error in my life. I don't know how to explain it, but like I see so many people that aren't happy, that aren't smiling, that aren't energetic, or I don't know. I don't I want to be a little bit different and it's natural. I know if I'm smiling and if I'm giving you energy and if I'm moving like this, I know it's gonna be what's the word? Like it's contagious.
Yeah,
Yes.
contagious. Yeah.
It's contagious, and I want you to feel this way. However I'm feeling like good, I want it to be contagious, and vice versa. Like I believe in good energy, like all that stuff. You gotta be careful with who you hang with. So I want to just be a positive guy. Like I want to be the person that if you look at me, I lived by off my energy, But I'm not thinking that. I just want you to know that I don't know how I have this positive energy. I don't know. I just know that you might only live once. Just try to live your life the best as possible. Know that you're alive. Try to smile more. Try to be more, and just come off as a great person, and then you will be that person. Some people have to act and then they will become. It's weird, but yeah, I don't know how I do it. I just know that tomorrow's never guaranteed, so let's smile it up. Let's live it up now because we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Right now, we're living in the now, you
Yeah,
know?
now is all that's real. Tomorrow is a concept, the past is a concept. Now is all that's physically real. But you did bring up a really, really important topic I want to talk about, which is that emotions are extremely contagious. Happy people tend to make other people happy, and unfortunately, hurt people tend to hurt people. And that's one reason why it's so important to heal. Because it's emotions are very contagious, and hurt people oftentimes they tend to have mentalities, that aren't so helpful, like the victim mentality, for example, and then they might share that philosophy with their friends and family, and then it's contagious. So
Yeah.
emotions are extremely contagious. That I'm glad that you brought that up. So Carlos, how do you respond to people? Because obviously we're two grown men. How do you respond to people when they disrespect you? Like, have you kind of reached that point where you let it go, or do you still like, because back in the day, I had an ego. I know I had an ego. So
Yeah.
do you when people disrespect you, do you like snap back at them, or do you walk away? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I most of them are just like I'm gonna leave the comment. Like it's never in person. It's never somebody disrespecting me in person, and God forbid someone will one day. I don't know, but it's always on the internet, right? It's always somebody saying something. But the best part is, I leave that comment up there for everybody can see how like miserable you are or sad you are or how shitty of a person you are trying to knock someone down off of a video that I made or even my friends. Like you're literally commenting on one of the videos that I made, me sliding upside down, dancing, doing whatever, and you're saying something negative. Let me leave it up. You're the one that looks dumb. I don't even have to say anything. That just shows who you are as a person. Or maybe you're just not having a good day and you want to bring somebody down. I have empathy for you. I don't have to say anything to you. I have empathy. I get it. I understand. But I'm not going to stoop down to your level and we're going to go back and forth. No, that's probably what you want. And
Mhm.
I'm not going to give you what you want. So, yeah, I just ignore them. I don't go down to their level and I just leave their comment up. So I try not to argue with anybody and I try not to waste my time or create a flame that's bigger. So, yeah, I feel like it's a waste of time.
And energy. That if someone is leaving a nasty comment in your videos, it's pretty safe to assume that they are hurting, that they're not the happiest person. I would probably assume that they're jealous.
Jealous.
Successful, that they probably tried it and failed, and I would assume that they're jealous. And it's pretty safe to assume that they have insecurities, which we all have. We all have insecurities. I used to be pretty insecure about my looks, and I still am a little bit. So I
Same.
don't know. I don't know what you want to share, but do you have some insecurities, Carlos, or do you?
Yeah, I mean, like I could just name off the top like guys, sometimes I'd be like, "Hey, I'm skinny. I want to get bigger," or my teeth aren't the best.
Mhm.
I want to straighten them out, or my voice isn't its best. Should I speak less? But these are battles that I fight with every day, and I'm just like, you know what? I can't really care about what people think if it's nothing bad that I'm doing or the way I'm presenting myself. Like I just got to keep working on me and getting to where I got to get to. So yes, I do have insecurities, but I live with them. And then I end up loving them because what can I do? Can't do much. I have to love myself. I have to love it. Even if it's not the best, even if my hair isn't the best, even if I wish I had straight, nice hair, I don't care. Just gotta love. I gotta appreciate God for what He has given me and make whatever I got with it. So I appreciate anything I have.
It's so crazy how hard we are on ourselves, and you're
Yeah.
a successful guy, and that's the whole thing. Like sometimes it's the most successful people. I was watching this TED Talks with a model. This was like 3 years ago, but I'll never forget. And she
Okay.
was saying that the most insecure people that she know, they're all models, and it's so crazy because like from the outside, nobody can tell, and from the outside, we're like, "Are you crazy?" Like there are people looking at you like, Carlos, you have 700,000 subscribers and you're insecure like that. That's crazy. But we're all human beings and we all have insecurities. And it's just so crazy how hard we are on ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's 100%. Everybody's different. Everybody judges themselves to an extent. And I believe like if you guys practice this method, like you are the most important person you talk to, right? So try to say the most positive things to yourself, and that will change the trajectory of your day. So I would just try that every day. Say the positive, kind things to yourself, even though it sounds dumb sometimes. Look in the mirror. I do it sometimes, and I say positive things to myself, and I walk out the door, and I don't forget it. I'm driving, and I remember that, and I remember talking to myself, and now my day is becoming better. So there's little hacks that you could do, but yeah, man, we are all insecure from all walks of life. I believe we all have at least one insecurity. And I some people deal with them and some people end themselves because of it, which is sad. But
Yep. I mean, one thing that I learned in life is that confidence is internal, and there's a whole philosophy on this, but there's so many millionaires and billionaires who have gotten a million external achievements and they're still insecure. So what I learned in life is that confidence is internal. Oftentimes it starts in childhood, and it has a lot to do with that too, and how are you raised, but it is very, very internal. And just for the people listening, you can't just assume that you will be super confident once you have 700,000 subscribers, once you are a millionaire, because that's not really how confidence works. It's mostly internal. And I also learned that confidence is quiet. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't seek attention.
yeah.
It often doesn't wear Gucci. It often doesn't wear the $3,000 sneakers. Confidence often throws on a t-shirt and sweatpants. Like it's often very quiet and it's not loud at all. So Carlos, what is your long-term plan?
Long-term plan. Well, to break it down, my long-term plan is to keep doing the same thing, but constantly changing it into what's going on in 2024, 2025, 2026. So it's going to be definitely growing this same YouTube account to 10 million subscribers plus. But I'm also, in the mix of doing carpentry construction, which I do love doing. I'm like thinking, hey, should I go all in as well with that? I'm in the mix of that. So I'm still trying to figure out the long run with along with breaking as well. My crew wants me back. Should I continue breaking and should I go all in with that as well? There's multiple vehicles I have, but my mind is telling me what will make you financially successful in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is YouTube and construction carpentry, which bro, it's very possible and it's very doable. But what am I going to double down on? And I'm in that bridge. Definitely going to be hitting. If you guys are watching this right now, definitely growing my YouTube account to 10 million subscribers. But other than that, I'm still trying to figure out. I would say the next 5 years. Anything could happen within next month. So I'm in that stage where anything that could happen will happen. I don't know. So I probably need like another 6 months to know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 years or 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Good question.
If I personally had to give advice, I would say to keep milking the YouTube. Because one thing I learned about business is business is it's often temporary and you never ever know anything can happen. Like so for example, I resell sneakers and it was booming from like 2019 to 2021. The sneaker market crashed. And
What?
what I learned is that, milk whatever is going well, milk that shit, milk it because anything can happen. Maybe YouTube will ban you, maybe there will be another guy, maybe, God forbid, you might get physically impaired. So
You're
what I
right.
learned is like whatever is going well, whatever is working, milk that shit, keep that
I
YouTube because
like
it's
that.
going well. And like let's be honest, 40 when you're 45, 50, you're not going to be able to do all of these things, you know what I'm saying?
No, 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 you're right. Yeah, I like that. And especially, yeah, you're right. Anything could happen. So if you have the opportunity right now, when whatever industry you're in and you're making some type of money or a lot of money, milk it. Like go hard. Keep going with that one thing, right? Till it dies out because anything could happen. You're right. You get banned, it could be there could be another guy. So don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. Well said, Christian.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and
is so
you're
true.
doing great, man. Like I said, I believe you're going to be at 1 million subscribers in a year. Carlos, I kind of ran out of questions. Do you have anything to say? Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, like this is awesome that you're doing these interviews, and I really did enjoy this interview. Like, and I know we're not done yet, but how many like this is you hold yourself up really well with these interviews. How many people have you interviewed?
Oh, I've interviewed a lot. So it's mostly real estate. I've interviewed like 31 people so far. I did start a mental health podcast. I started
Damn.
yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I started a mental health podcast. I only have one video right now. So you're actually going to be my second one because I do consider this like a mental health talk. So you're actually going to go on that page. But yeah, yeah, it's going well. My Instagram is growing. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, what I would say is that you're living the American dream. Like a lot of people are really, really struggling. And, like if you ask most kids or even some adults, what is your dream? Most of them was like content creator, and you're living that life, and like I believe that you're gonna grow a lot more. So I'm proud of you, bro. I'm really
Thank
proud
you,
of
bro.
you. Real.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And if people want to be in your boat too, they want to freaking sell houses, sell apartments, but they don't want to do the beginning step.
Yeah,
For me, like what it takes to be in that position, they don't want to get their license, they don't want to put in the work, and then they're there. No, they just want to get it handed. They want an account that has 500,000, and then they'll start. It takes that dirt work first, then you start seeing results. So it's not easy, but if you want to live the dream, you better eat some dirt. Tell you
yeah.
that.
Because, like I was saying before, that they didn't see all your followers. They didn't see you in the garage breakdancing, sweating, bleeding, getting injured. I know that you've been injured a million times. They didn't see all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see all those injuries. They didn't see the wrist pain. They didn't see all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, they didn't see it. Yeah, you're right. Two broken wrists. Freaking, I messed up my PCL. I had freaking messed up ankle. I had like three herniated discs in the back of my neck. Freaking, like I was getting a bald spot from spinning on my head so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
This is what it takes. Same thing with like like real estate. You get 10 no's, one yes.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's just a numbers game and it's a discipline game, but passion, bro. Like you gotta love the shit. Sorry for cursing, but you gotta really
Yeah.
love it.
No, no, it's all good. I want to be real on this podcast, and that was the if there's one takeaway that I want people to take away, it's that you have to suffer to get to the top. You have to suffer, and I'm really glad that they got to see this side of you, Carlos. This like the side of you that did suffer, as opposed to just the happy Carlos that's successful, that's dancing. They got to see the Carlos that had to go through the suffering to get to where you are now, to be happy and to be successful. So thank you.
Yeah,
And I also wanted to add that you can turn clout into money in so many different ways. So for example, like let's just say one day you decided to become a realtor. Now a lot of people are going to want to use you because you're going to have 1 million subscribers. A lot of people want to use you. So there are a million different ways to turn clout into money. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah, you're right about that. Once you got that good following, they'd be like, "Oh, I want to work with him because this," and it's happening today. It was just happening today. People contact you because of you. You have over 50K on Instagram or 500,000, so they want to work with you. And I totally get that. And if one hand washes the other, then so be it. Like this video. Oh, by the way, we could if you could make a dope video out of this and make it like a minute, uh, different parts of it, anything, we could collab on it on Instagram, and you could put it on as the captions, like interviewing or whatever it is, Carlwinz_official. So I can go on your page and I could collab, and both our followers could see this if you
Yeah,
want.
there's this dope website I just discovered. It's called Opus for the people listening, and it actually takes the whole video. It uses AI and it turns it into shorts. It's called
I
Opus,
seen that.
OPUS. You seen Opus, and it turns
Yeah.
it into shorts, so it's really dope. So I'm gonna and it makes like 20 shorts.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna make this video into at least like 5, 6 different shorts, maybe more. Carlos, where can people find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on all platforms at Carlwinz_official. Let's go, baby. Carlwinz_official. What is he?
I'll put all the info below. Carlos, it was great talking to you, man. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yo, Christian, your questions were great. I love seeing my brother killing it online. Do not stop, because this interview was fire.
We're gonna have a part two next year. Don't worry. We're gonna have a
Let's
part two next
go.
year.
Yeah, next year, next 3 months. Let's go.
Yeah,
It's up to
it's
you, whatever
coming.
you want. I'm
Carlos, have a
down.
good one, man. It was great talking to you,
Yo,
man.
Christian, thank you so much. Peace, guys.
Take care, brother.